someone who often travels to Taiwan as part of his official duties as the chair of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, is Senator Bob Menendez. And this morning, he wrote an op-ed in the New York Times about a new bipartisan bill focusing on the U.S. strategy toward Taiwan, saying that, quote, as China challenges us across every dimension of national security, militarily, economically, and diplomatically, and on values, we are laying out a new vision that ensures our country is positioned to defend Taiwan for decades to come. New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez joins us this morning. Senator, always a pleasure to see you. In that op-ed, you said there needs to be changes in how the U.S. supports Taiwan. In what way?
Well, good to be with you, Jose. Look, I think that it has been decades since the Taiwan Relations Act was passed, which is basically speaks to our relationship with Taiwan. And there's a lot of different realities today. China's economy is much bigger than it was then. China's economic and political and military might is much different and more sophisticated than it was then. So some of the things that we seek to do is to up the posture of our defense cooperation with Taiwan, particularly as it relates to sales to Taiwan of the type of equipment they will need to simply defend themselves, to engage in sending a clear message to the Chinese that if they attack unprovoked Taiwan, that there will ultimately be punishing sanctions that will come as a result of that, to engage with Taiwan more sophisticatedly in an economic and cultural terms, and to work with Taiwan to have its rightful place in international institutions like the World Health Organization, for example. So those are some of the elements of what we seek to update the Taiwan Relations Act.
Senator, meanwhile, the U.S. just took out the leader of al-Qaeda in a drone strike in Afghanistan. How significant was this strike?
It was very significant for various reasons. Number one, al-Zawahiri has met his maker, and ultimately he has so much blood of American lives on his hands, and he was the head of al-Qaeda. Two, it sends a message that even though we are not in Afghanistan, you're not beyond our reach there or anywhere else. Three, it sends a message to the Taliban that you said to President Trump when you made a deal with him, you will not permit al-Qaeda to have a stronghold in Afghanistan. Well, you had the head of al-Qaeda there. So you have violated your agreements with the United States, and that has consequences. So it has many different dimensions, and I think it is an enormous strike and incredibly important. And I give the Biden administration enormous credit for taking it and for the manner in which they did it.
And, Senator, I want to turn to issues here at home. Last night, the Senate finally passed a bill that would help veterans sickened because of exposure to burn pits overseas after days of delay. I know you've been very strongly supportive of this. What does it mean that this bill is now heading to the president's desk?
Well, for over 3.5 million American veterans who served their country faithfully and who are sick as a result of the negligence in which we operated with these burn pits, the toxic substances that these soldiers inhaled and now are sick with but have been denied assistance to. This is a new day for them in terms of making it right by them. And as I always say, a grateful nation not only marches in a Memorial Day parade or goes to a Veterans Day observance, which we should. A grateful nation takes care of our soldiers when they come back from battle, and how we take care of them and their health care, their disabilities, and how we take care of their loved ones for those who commit the ultimate sacrifice. I'm glad that Republicans finally came to their senses. This should have been law already. I don't know why so many of them switched after they originally voted for it, but it is the pressure of our veterans and the American people who said do right by our veterans that won out today, and I'm glad to see it's on its way to the president's desk.
And Senator, Democrats have accused Republicans of holding up that bill in retaliation for the big tax, health care, and climate change deal announced last week. Earlier this week, you actually tweeted about that. You said how Republicans will likely try to divide Democrats by introducing amendments on immigration and border security. You've also spoken about the need for Democrats to stay firm and united on this. How?
Well, look, the Reconciliation Act does a lot of good things. For example, it ultimately will reduce for 1.6 million seniors in New Jersey and 65 million seniors across the country the cost of prescription drugs, including provisions that I wrote, which creates a cap for seniors of out-of-pocket expenses and a smoothing provision to make sure that to the extent that they do have to pay for any of it, they can do it over a period of time so that they're not shocked by prices. It will deal with the existential threat of climate change. We see that in Kentucky with the floods. You see it out west with the wildfires. You see it in the Northeast in the past with events like Superstorm Sandy. So that's critically important, and it will create a lot of great jobs. So, but the way to slay that Inflation Reduction Act is to have extraneous provisions adopted, including immigration provisions. So while this is not a perfect bill, I would have liked to have seen SALT in it to help middle-class taxpayers get relief. I certainly cannot support it if extraneous provisions get adopted, particularly pejorative immigration provisions that have nothing to do with the health, welfare, and security of the American people.
Senator Bob Menendez, it's always a pleasure to see you. I thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you, Jose.